Okay, let's take a start with speaking part one. It's going to be a sort of tutorial. Wherever you will be wrong, I will stop you, I will correct you,
Sure.
and I'll give you my feedback as well. It's
Okay,
not
sir.
going to be like a mock test where examiner is not giving any feedback, right?
Okay, sir.
I'm going to ask you some questions about discussion. So, what do you like to talk about?
Usually, I have plenty of topics to talk about, but I like to talk about or talk on the sports because I love to play football. So I like to talk on
Okay.
football.
Now, listen, instead of using the word talk about, you should use the
Repetition.
word chat, discuss,
Okay.
have a word about football and all that, whatever. So you should give a variety to the examiner. For example, what do you like to talk about? Well, I usually like to chat to my friends about sports because I love sports very much. So whenever I am with my friends, we often discuss sports. We talk about different matches, and this is how we discuss. So to answer your question, I love to have a word about sports.
Sports. Okay.
Something, I mean, variety.
Okay, sir.
Whatever you present to the examiner, examiner will give you band score. So it's very
Okay.
simple. If you give plain language, you will get plain band score 5.56. If you give alternative words, synonyms, your band score will improve. Now let's go on. Have your discussion topics changed since you were a child?
I think so. It's a difficult question for me to answer because I didn't think about it yet. But I think in childhood, you don't have a bundle of ideas to talk about. You have different things to play, and your activities and your priorities are different. So you don't have enough topics to speak or to chat with your friends. So I think.
Again, answer is unclear and disorganized. I tell you why and how. Have your discussion topics changed? Now, instead of using when you are small, when you are a child, in your childhood, the question is have your. So don't use you, use I.
Okay.
When I was a child, I used to talk about some basic things like toys and education. But now, as I've grown up, I often talk about politics. I talk about sports. So, to answer your question, my discussion topics have changed tremendously since I was a child. Okay, because whenever they say have your means I. Now, you will answer with I. Okay?
Okay.
So, let's go on. Do you change your opinion frequently?
Okay, I usually don't change my opinion frequently because whenever I took a decision,
I take a decision.
I take a decision.
Rather, it's good to say whenever I make a decision.
Yes.
Make is better.
Make is better.
So,
whenever I make a decision on any discussion, so I first of all I analyze it completely thoroughly from its top to bottom, and then I make a decision about it.
okay. So instead of using the word, sorry to interrupt, instead of using the word decision, you should use the word opinion. You should use the word view. You should use the word viewpoint. You should use the word way of thinking.
Synonyms.
Because, yes, synonyms of that. So do you change your opinion frequently? No, I don't change my opinions or my point of views very frequently because my opinions are based on my knowledge and experience. So far I've gained enough knowledge with very good experience, so I hardly change my opinion. Whatever my opinion about things is, that opinion is been same for a long time or anything like that, okay? So just focus the question and answer accordingly, and whatever you speak, that should cover the question. That should be the part of the answer. Now, let's go on. Do you prefer to talk or to listen?
Okay, I prefer to listen because whenever you listen the point of your opponent or your in front of you who's talking, then you can understand what he wants to say. After that, you can analyze and you can think about it to answer his discussion or point of view.
Okay, so do you prefer to talk or to listen? Say, I always prefer to talk after listening. Because if I don't understand what to talk about, how can I enter the conversation? So whenever people are talking, I first listen to them very carefully. I pay full attention to the topic which is being discussed, and then I jump into the conversation. Talk, discussion. These things will help you. Okay? I'll ask you one last question.
Yes, sir.
How often do you chat with your friends on social media?
Okay, I frequently talk to my friends on social media because the first reason is that I am addictive to social media, especially WhatsApp. Oftenly, I texted my friends.
I often text my friends. Oftenly and fastly. These two words don't exist in English. I often text my friends.
I often text my friends whenever I need any help or any suggestion. I messaged.
I text them.
Text them, sir. Repetition.
Yeah, I text them. I message them.
I message them.
I leave them a message.
Okay. I message them to take their decision on or suggestion about this.
Okay. All right. So try to speak fluently without and answers must be organized answers. They must be according to the question, and whatever you speak, understand the tone of the question. If the tone of the question is personal, then answer with I. If the tone of the question is general, then answer with you or people. Okay? That is also important. All the best.
Sir, question sir,
English.
Okay, sir, whenever I try to use different synonyms of the words to just to avoid repetition, then the fluency
I tell
decreased.
You. In English, it is said repetition is the mother of learning. So if you do the same thing using synonyms repetitively, you will become comfortable with them. And right now, you are struggling to produce the language. So once you practice, once you use these synonyms time and again, they will become the part of your active memory, or we call it active vocabulary. We have two types of vocabularies, active and passive. So now what you're trying to do, you're picking up some words from your passive vocabulary and trying to use them in active vocabulary. So this process will take a little time, and then the words of your passive vocabulary will become the part of your active vocabulary, and you'll be comfortable. You need practice.
Okay, sir.
Right?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.